here we are. It's time for Batman. With my special guest, James Earnshaw.
Hi.
Or DJ Stitches in the corner, because I've got the names displayed on Zoom, which was the easiest way to record it.
Yeah.
We are talking 1989's Batman, directed by Tim Burton, written by Sam Hamm and Warren Scarron, I believe. An interesting Batman logo. And this stars Michael Keaton, Kim Basinger. I did look it up. That's the correct pronunciation.
Basinger, is it not Jer?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Jack Nicholson and Lando Calrissian. I mean, Billy D. Williams.
Yeah, and don't forget, we've also got Mac McDonald in there, who was the Captain Hollister in Red Dwarf. He played one of the goons.
Yes.
One of the Joker's goons. And Christopher Fairbank. You can't forget him, because he played the guy who said, "What are you?" just before the immortal line of, "I'm Batman."
Which was Keaton's input.
Yes, it was, indeed.
Yeah.
But Christopher Fairbank's been in everything. Alien 3, Starship Troopers. He was even in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's the pawn shop owner.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I do like that guy. Yeah.
He's a great actor. Brilliant. I mean, anyone who's in Alien 3, English actors, they were all brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, he looks a little like Ian Drury in certain lights. There's elements of it in his face.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not what I saw. But
so
yeah,
my brain immediately goes, Ian Drury, but not. I have to do that. Like, sidetrack it. But yeah, so I watched this again the other night and
didn't work.
Made notes. And now I'm working, I'm focusing.
Focusing, sorry, okay.
And I realised that the soundtrack was probably the first soundtrack I actually listened to for a film.
Which one, the Prince or the Danny Elfman?
Prince. Yeah, the Prince, unfortunately.
Prince one. Actually, probably the same here, if I'm honest. I mean, Party Man and Bat Dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, really love those tracks. I love the scene in the film with Party Man, the way that they're being so irreverent against art.
Yeah. Apart from the Francis Bacon one.
Yes, of course.
Of course.
I like that. But no, I do. I have to say that the Prince soundtrack, as a kid, I had the CD. I listened to it quite a lot. It was one of the first CDs I ever bought, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that after A Night on Bull Mountain, Mazursky.
That makes a lot of sense.
I'm a bit weird like that, yeah. So, but then I managed to go... when the library used to hire out CDs, I went and hired out the Danny Elfman score, not knowing who Danny Elfman was at the age of... Yeah, whatever.
12
and the cover of the Danny Elfman score CD or LP, I think it was the LP I hired out, had the moon with the bat wing over it.
Oh.
So yeah, that.
Yeah, that lovely aesthetic moment.
And
yeah.
I'll never forget seeing that in the library and going, "Oh my God, there's another Batman soundtrack!" And of course, got it home and was rather disappointed to find out it had no songs on it because I was very young.
Yes.
But by the same token, I was like, "Oh, this music's great."
Yeah.
So, and let's face it, without that Elfman score, we wouldn't have had anything defining Batman in that way.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't think any other composer could have encapsulated that feeling, the gothic, adventurous kind of vibe that it's got to it. And if you look at the 60s Batman, I mean, that music was camp.
Yeah.
Then you go very changed to this very serious, dramatic music that's got a dark edge to it and stuff. And then you look, the animated series used a version of it later on. And even I would even say Hans Zimmer adapted ideas from it for the Christopher Nolan films as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely great soundtrack. It's so pinnacle in the universe of Batman. Well done, Danny Elfman.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, we had an agreement that I'd leave you to talk Elfman because I talked about it in Edward Scissorhands. But it's weird you mentioned Batman the Animated Series because the last thing I recorded was Double Dragon, which will have gone up by the time this does.
Okay.
And the story was co-written by Paul Dini. Weird.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Okay, I've got to ask you, Hamill or Nicholson?
Hamill for voice, Nicholson for physical.
Okay, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm of a mind to make a Mookie.
The silhouette, when he's first introduced, very Killing Joke style with the hat, etc.
I agree.
It was an influence.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So iconic, the framing and everything. I mean, even the introduction of Batman at the start, dropping in through steam. Aside from that weirdly terrible animated bit as the turn, the full suit descending was. This was very much a film of imagery first, which I didn't realise Tim Burton was actually dyslexic, so it makes a lot of sense.
It does.
And explains why he's got such a distinct visual style.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, most dyslexic people are more creative.
Yeah.
And visual. So.
Yeah.
Or
It
musical.
also explains why his handwriting's terrible, because it's his handwriting on the card.
Oh, is it?
No. That's clearly meant to be a joke, obviously. It's like...
Fine. Okay. So, intro to the film. We've got the iconic music coming on, and we've got the travelling through caves or channels, which then we zoom out to see the 89 logo. Now... Yes. I've not liked a Bat logo since, particularly. I mean, this T-shirt is defined by the 89 one. And to be honest with you, it's everywhere in here. I've got the 89 Batman. And that logo, personally, I think it's simplicity makes it so amazing. And it's not in any way camp. You can tell it's a bat. You can tell what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I don't think it was designed for the film. I think it was in comic books first, but...
Yes, it was pulled from earlier comic books, and they just kind of went with it to give a splash of colour alongside the belt, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they did a good job, and picking that logo, I think, over all the others that were available at the time, I think that was an inspired move.
Yeah. Well, because of... I mean, the fact was, there weren't really superhero movies at the time. Action films were not super popular at the time either. So it was very much a time of they've got to have something that just punches and goes, this is what it is.
That's it, and it did it.
That logo just says exactly what you need. I mean, I found out today, I was quickly looking some stuff up, and people were paying money to go and watch films at a cinema just to watch the trailer.
Yep, they were for this trailer, yeah. I mean, this is the first film, I think, of any film to have a massive debate before the actual film was released.
Yeah.
The people were complaining about the casting of Michael Keaton, which, I'm sorry, one of the best actors you could ever have playing Batman. The duality of the character is perfectly played by Michael Keaton. But they were whinging about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want gravitas, if you want good acting, if you want clever use of timing and scene control, you go to the funny guy. Because you've got to learn all that to make comedy hit.
I agree completely.
And also, his comedy background helped inform some of the weirder little moments, like the sitting across the dinner table. That's such a fun scene.
And of course, there's the bit where he flips out with the Joker.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on!
The timing of it.
Yeah. It's like, to me, it was kind of like, I think you've got a little Beetlejuice in my Batman there. So that was the year before. Yeah.
I went to see this when I was 11. That gives my age away, right? I went to see this film in the cinema. It was a 12 certificate. So all the way in the queue to go in, it was a little cinema in my local town. And I mean little cinema. They showed one film at a time, basically.
Wow.
You had to go down this dark alley to get into it, basically. And you're all queued up in this dark alley off the high street to go in. And I remember just bricking it the entire time I was in this queue. They're going to find out I'm not 12. But it was my birthday. It was my birthday the next day or something like that. So, technically I was 12. But I'll never forget going into that cinema and sitting there and that title coming up and the way they did it all and thinking, what the hell's going on? What's happening? Oh, it's the logo! Yeah. And I actually got really excited in the cinema at the age of 11, 12 that logo came up in such a way. I have to say that intro now, I only really pay attention for the music. But visually, the first time I saw it, I was blown away.
I think the difference is sort of seeing those sweeps on a bigger screen is a much more impressive thing anyway.
Oh, yeah. Well, I went to see it last year for my friend's birthday because they did an anniversary edition of it. And it was the 17th of May last year. They showed it at my local View Cinema, and it was also available at other good cinemas.
Not sponsored.
But me and Dan went to see it, and big screen, it makes a difference for this film. The scale of it, the cinematics, the the imagery of Gotham City in it alone looks great on the big screen. Anyway, we've diverged.
Oh, that's normal.
Very. So what's the first scene straight after the logo?
It's the family.
No, it's Gotham City, isn't it? You see an overhaul of Gotham City, and then then you've got the family who are trying to catch a cab, and they can't. They go down an alley, and that's when
clear echoes.
Christopher Fairbank comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got the is this an origin of Batman? Are we getting the fake origin of Batman thing happening because they've gone down the alley and the muggers are getting them, and everyone knows that that's how these parents got killed. Blah 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 blah.
But then you have that moment of like he calls the kid Henry, I believe, and you're like, wait a minute, Henry?
Yeah, that's it.
So your mind starts going, hold on, there's something different here.
Unless they've made him Henry Wayne or he's changed his name to Bruce later on or something.
Well,
let's face it, if we watch this film for the first time now, it's quite plausible that they'd do that kind of thing.
Well, yeah. Again, considering Burton didn't have a massive connection to the character.
Yeah.
Why not?
Exactly. Well, yeah, I agree. But no, yeah, so you've got the whole thing there, and then the first appearance of Batman, where he attacks the goons the thieves on the rooftop.
Yeah.
And you've got the iconic line comes out, which was Keaton's idea.
Because originally I Up the Night, I believe, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, something like that. But he said, I'm Batman. And to be honest, I don't think anyone's said it that well since.
No. Because of course he also originated that slight drop in register. Not as severe as Bale, but that's where it came from.
Sorry. I really did not like Bale's take on that. I mean, Bale's Batman voice put me off.
Batman as Bulldog.
Batman with marbles in his mouth. Eating a whole pack of Maltesers at once. I didn't like
the Brando method.
Yeah. But no, when he said that was it. I was in a Batman movie, fully on. It's like, what's going to happen next?
I think that's one of those moments that does just sell you. If you're kind of going, I'm not sure. All of a sudden, boom, I'm Batman. Right, okay, take me on a journey. You've got me for the next 2 hours.
That's it. That was it. I was in love with this film already. You've seen all this gothic scenery and everything else, and the darkness of it, and then Batman's already appeared in this new suit as well, which, like, compared to the 1960s fabric, this thing looks amazing. I feel we should talk about the suit a little.
Yes, because it was Ringwood, wasn't it?
Sorry?
The designer. It was Ringwood. Bob Ringwood,
I don't
wasn't
know.
it?
I don't. You're the specifics person. I'm the observational person.
Okay.
I saw that suit and instantly thought, my God, he's got battle armor. Or something along those lines. I just loved it. The fact that it was so sculpted to skin, but not in an obvious way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's no bat nipples. No bat nipples.
Thankfully.
Yeah, that was Schumacher's fault. We don't talk about that. But anyway, no. I think one of the big... I mean, I've said this to you on many an occasion, more than likely. I've said it to lots of other people. One of the big things about that suit was the fact that the neck was attached.
Yeah.
And so he couldn't turn his head like that.
No.
So I'm going to try and do this for the camera, although it's very difficult. The difference between me going, I'm Batman, and me going, I'm Batman. I don't know if that really showed, but the intimidation of a whole body turning to you to say something or to act towards you, massive difference.
The whole
not
thing
turning your head.
Yeah, it has to be a conscious effort. You are directing your entire attention, and that can be very important, especially when you've just got this imposing silhouette as well, this muscle suit, and you've just got this physical presence looming at you.
Absolutely fantastic. Loved it.
How would you not be terrified?
Exactly. So yeah, the suit, seeing the movement of it, and the fact that he, I mean, let's face it, in this film, all bets are off. He could kill anybody, and it didn't matter, as long as he were a bad guy. I mean, we were all behind him as well. At the age of 11, 12, I was like, yeah, kill him! He's got a gun! Get rid of him! They're all killing the city with gas! Kill them all! No, but now looking back on it, I'm kind of like, I thought Batman's only rule was not to kill. And then, of course, they all went mental over Batfleck in the trailer having a shotgun. of some kind, which it turns out wasn't a shotgun, it was something else. Everyone went so nuts about that, and it's like 89 Batman, he flat out flew at the Joker firing bullets and missiles at him.
Yeah.
And blew up loads of other stuff, threw people down steeples and all sorts of things. And he killed the Joker at the end. What's your problem with Batfleck having a gun?
The Joker slipped. Well, the Joker fell off the thing, but it's because he attached his foot to the gargoyle, so he technically killed him. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. He tried to stop the Joker escaping, and the Joker was too persistent.
Yeah.
And ended up killing himself. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
still, if he hadn't have done that, he wouldn't have died. So, indirectly, you could say. But the blowing up of Axis chemicals, we saw goons on the way in. That's a definite multi-count.
Oh, yeah,
that one.
So, like, let's talk a little bit about the Joker a bit there. We're kind of in the area of we've got the origin story of another Joker here. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now, if you've read any of the comics, you know about the Red Hood story and the fact that it was just one bad day, etc., and things like that, right? Yeah. But we're looking at this film, and Tim Burton's gone for a whole new angle. For a start, Jack Napier. Jack Napier was a gangster, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Working under Grissom. Yep. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
but before that, he was just a petty thief. So we get Batman's origin story, which in this version is Jack Napier killing his parents. And, of course, the iconic pearls. Yeah. Were they mentioned anywhere else?
Never see again.
Were the pearls mentioned anywhere else before this film?
I don't believe so.
No, neither do I, but they've been mentioned ever since.
Yeah. The interesting thing with this as well is it's actually about an hour and a half in before we actually see it.
Yeah.
Fully. It's not right at the start. I mean, technically we get an allusion to it, like we said before.
But
it's not right up the front. We're not like, hey, we need to tell this origin story 50,000 times. It's actually about 90 minutes or so in, just before the weird belt drop.
It's exceedingly relevant as well.
Yeah.
Where it's put.
It's done properly.
Yeah, I agree. But we've skipped ahead away from the Joker's origin, but the Joker technically creates himself in this. If he hadn't shot at Batman and it hadn't ricocheted off and gone through his cheek, he wouldn't have fell off the thing. But then, did Batman let him go, or did he just slip?
Well, that's the big question. It's like what we were saying about the gargoyle.
Yeah.
You know, there's an element of doubt, I suppose, in that.
Nah, there isn't. You see Batman let him go.
Well, this is Burton's Batman. Why not?
I've been questioning this, and then I came to the point where, no, you actually see him do that with his hand. Technically, he goes, you know what? You don't deserve to live. Yeah. And lets him fall into a vat of acid, or toxic chemicals, at least.
And that's before he realises exactly who he was.
Yeah, that is true. So he hasn't done it out of vengeance. He's done it out of, you're a really nasty person and you should not be around.
Yeah.
Which most people can justify under the Batman rules.
Yeah.
In a comic book universe, it's justified in a way. But only in a comic book universe.
Because no one actually stays dead ever.
Well, that's it. That's pretty much it. So the Joker technically creates himself. And then he goes off and has this botched surgery job in a seedy doctor's office somewhere.
Yeah, back alley
and
kind of doctor.
And as it turns out, in this one, it's not makeup at all. It's his skin is actually white and stuff, and because in some versions it's been makeup, hasn't it? So, for example, Joker.
Yes.
So yeah, but we find out his skin's actually white, and at some points he does put human makeup on. Well, skin toned makeup on to make himself look as normal as possible, even with the Funko Pop are about to release a line of Jack Nicholson Jokers, which I'm looking forward to having.
Ooh.
They've got the iconic in the hat, and then they've got the with his face streaming from the gallery scene with the beret.
Yeah,
that's must have. I mean, if you don't know anything about me, you know what? You're gonna have to see this, aren't you?
Wall of Batman.
You get the idea. I'm a little bit of a collector of Batman stuff.
It's a little excessive, some might say.
Especially the person I live with. They hate the fact that I've got so much Batman. It's all right having some Batman, not quite so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually had a Kinder Easter egg for Easter this year, simply because it was a 50-50 chance of getting a Batmobile or a Superman car. Just so I can add it to my cabinet. It's the only reason I wanted the Easter egg. I'm diabetic. The chocolate is no use to me. Well, it is in very small amounts every now and again. But no, so yeah, anyway. The Batmobile!
Yes.
I need to talk about the 1989 Batmobile.
Yes, you do.
There's a reason behind that. Because it's my favourite Batmobile.
Ever. Yeah.
Ever made. I must have somewhere in the region of about 30 of them. Between Matchbox, Hot Wheels.
That impaled you?
No, that was the Batman vs Superman Batmobile that impaled me through my hand.
That's fine, man.
Yeah. Quick backstory. I tried to put the wheels together of the new Batmobile. It was a metal one, and I patted down on the wheels to get them to go on, and the pole went straight through my hand. On the day of a gig.
Yeah. That was fun.
I played the gig. I played guitar. Acoustic all night. It was great. No, it wasn't.
Ouch.
But anyway, no. Yeah, 1989 Batmobile. Originally built on the chassis of a Rolls-Royce, I believe.
I believe it was actually a Chevy Impala.
That's right. You're correct. Sorry.
You said
was it a Rolls-Royce engine in it?
Might have been.
I think it was a Rolls-Royce engine in it.
Someone will correct us.
But yeah. I mean, two movies with the very similar Batmobile. They made minor modifications for Batman Returns. But when they changed it for Batman Forever, I went, what's this wobbly shit?
Yeah.
Pardon my French. I hated it. I loved the 89 Batmobile. I can't say that I've seen one as good as that, anywhere near as good as that ever before.
No.
And the 1960s one's cool, and I love it to bits, but it's dated of its time.
Yeah.
So
it's very 60s car.
Oh, it is. Whereas the 89 Batmobile doesn't feel so 90s to me. It's very much it could have stayed as the Batmobile, and they only adapted it small ways for the animated series.
Yeah.
And I've got a few of them as well. I do like the Batfleck Batmobile. It's a nice kind of off-roader. Hated the Tumbler.
Yeah.
Oh no. I mean, if they'd called it the Bat Tank, I'd have probably gone with it.
Yeah.
And had something better for the Batmobile. But no, I didn't like the Tumbler. But no, the 89 Batmobile, I absolutely adored it. The fact the flames came out the back, just like in the 60s. All the hidden weapons on it and things. Although I can't ever imagine the 60s one having machine guns mounted into it.
No. But that was because it was a more innocent time. It was in line with what the comics were doing at the time as well, where it's all under the Comics Code Authority, whatever it was. So it had to be very sanitised.
The shields. I mean, the shields were amazing. What a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Shields.
Cocoon. Although apparently, there was a funny thing about the fact that it was designed and everything, and then someone went, so how do you get into it? And that's where the sliding bit originated from.
Cool. Right, fair enough. Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been a case of, oh no, we've got to build a door on this. But that again gives a nice dynamic element to it. Rather than just a door, it's a whole shunk.
I agree. I mean, looking a little more in detail at it, I spotted in the scene where he's driving Vicky Vale back to the Bat Cave, the accelerator pedal actually has a bat wing under his foot on it. So you can see him do that, and there's like a bat shape underneath his foot.
Yeah.
Attention to detail. Wow. I love films with attention to detail. I mean, it's like Alien vs Predator. Everyone hated the film. I just sat there going, what's on that tile?
Yeah.
All the way through the film, just looking at minute detail all the way through, and their attention to detail was fantastic. Loved it, the costumes and everything. Back to Batman again. There's so much detail in everything in this film. And
well, that's it. It's done by people who, whilst they might not have a passion for the source material, they've got a passion for what they're doing.
That's
it.
That
is the important thing.
It does make a difference,
doesn't
doesn't it?
himself with people like that a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, this was, I think, one of the last things that Anton Furst did, because he committed suicide, I think, the year after, or within a couple of years.
Set designer?
Production designer, yeah.
Oh, production designer. Okay.
Because he had a good eye, obviously, for what Tim Burton wanted, and Bo Welsh, who does a lot of the stuff with him after, really does well as well. But Anton Furst, I think, really set up what Burton style could be in some ways.
I mean, Batman Returns took it a little further in a good way, in my opinion, the zoo and everything else. But when Batman Forever came around, it was just, this is a little homoerotic. And Batman and Robin was a little scary. So, but I think, they lost the beauty of it, didn't they?
Yeah. And that's the thing, I mean, you look at Gotham in this portrayal and in Returns, because they're both Burton, so they're pretty much the same to a degree. And pinpoint to time that it takes place in. You can't.
Yeah.
There's a lot of 40s and 50s stuff, but there's also modern technology, and it's timeless.
Yeah, agreed.
And that's why it is so iconic, because it's timeless.
I agree.
Fully deco all over the place, but still not trapped by that. And it's beautiful.
The only thing that does give it age is the telephones.
Yeah. There's no
lack of mobile devices.
That
that makes it pre-cell phone, basically.
Yeah.
But other than that, and let's face it, it looks like it's. I think that the beauty of it is that it doesn't look like anywhere else. There's bits of New York and stuff like that in it, but there's nothing that's definitely there, because they built the set.
Yeah.
This wasn't some other city that they filmed in. They built it. It was huge. Absolutely massive. I've seen the behind-the-scenes stuff. Oh, my God, the work. And that's again, they don't do that much of this kind of thing anymore. It's all CG, or it doesn't, or it's just basic, or they go somewhere and film it. I mean, I know for a fact that they filmed scenes from Batman versus Superman in cities like New York and stuff. They closed down streets and just filmed there.
Yeah.
They didn't do that here.
We're getting reports from the Robert Pattinson one of them closing down cemeteries in Scotland and stuff like that to film the test footage. So a lot of places, will use what's already there, which saves a lot of time because you're not having to build the stuff, but you lose a lot of that sort of you lose a lot of your own voice and vision. I think.
Agreed. And I am kind of looking forward to seeing what they do with this new Robert Pattinson thing. I'm very cautious about him playing Batman.
But, I mean, we've had a lot of weird choices and they've worked out.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, everyone hated Keaton as a choice, and Lucky's the best one, in my opinion. Everyone hated Ben Affleck, but I liked him. I thought he made a very good Bruce Wayne. Excellent Bruce Wayne. In Justice League, that might have just been direction that was the issue. I felt as Batman he was a bit too silly.
Yeah. Ben's own troubles really kind of screwed everything over, I think, on his portrayal of Batman. Because otherwise, if he hadn't have had all that going on, it probably would have been a lot better for him.
Yeah,
but,
I still like him.
I'm happy he's recovering and on his way back now.
Good, yeah. I still liked him as Batman. Bale was the worst for me, and I know it's an unpopular opinion. And most people go, "You what? How can you say that?" But he was stupid. His Batman was
elements of Bale that worked. I think him himself could have been great at it, but again, I think it's direction and certain choices that
I agree.
Maybe even scripts, could have been
storyline for a start. I mean, where is she?
Yeah,
Batman would have known. I'm sorry, but he was a terrible detective in this, and if it wasn't for Fox, he'd have been nothing.
Yeah, which I was going to say actually about Keaton's Batman. You do get some good moments of detective work, like when he's putting the Smilex thing together and the chemistry, all of that. Yeah. He's actually showing both sides of the character.
He's one step ahead of the game.
Exactly.
That's it. Whereas other Batmans haven't been. I mean, Batfleck has kind of shown a bit of that.
Yeah.
But with Keaton's Batman, he was always one step ahead. He knew when stuff was happening. He was well on it. He was keeping an eye out, and Alfred was the only person helping him.
Yeah, that's it. And I like the fact that they didn't bog him down with a massive bat family.
I like it for the first film.
Yeah.
But maybe in the second film they could have brought something else, another element in, maybe hinted at Robin, but they didn't. And then what did we get?
Silver and Schumacher ruined it. Yeah.
They did. Yeah. No bat nipples.
No.
Anyway.
Apparently inspired by Greek gods.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that as well. No.
Yeah.
Just no. Anyway.
Quickly move away from that.
Yeah, we were talking about the Joker and the Batmobile, weren't we?
Yeah.
And the Batwing Wow.
Yes.
The fact they made it look like the logo. Yeah, but loaded with rockets and machine guns again. Although the snippy snipper thing was cool.
I did like that. It was very good.
Can't think of any other use for it and why it would be on there, but it worked for the scene.
Come on. Adam West had his bat shark repellent.
Yeah, fair
That's
point.
one's very specific use.
All right, gadgets. The main gadgets we see are things like smoke pellets. We see him use the gun that he puts to the Joker's face and that separates out like that and then fires
It's
repelling.
like a zipline kind of thing, isn't it?
Like a zipline gun, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's got his shoot-up thing that he gives to Vicky Vale.
Which was the first one to have that ratchet system,
Was it?
apparently. Yeah.
Cool.
So they could clip it onto his belt and shoot
Nice
up.
idea.
Not shoot
Okay.
up. Like.
No. We didn't see any other personal gadgets, did we?
No,
In the
I
film.
don't think we even get batarangs in this.
Oh, hang on. No, he has that thing that comes out of his wrist. The stopper thing that guy's
yeah.
coming at him. He has that as well. But I think that's about it. He wasn't overly heavy on the gadgets, and I like that. Didn't need it.
No, exactly. It's leaning into the Batman as an intelligent guy. Well, Bruce Wayne is an intelligent guy in the suit, who is using his environment and his own skills. He's not.
And
reliant
it's all
on
about his
technology.
brain, isn't it? Let's face it. I mean, Batman is a very disciplined character, and this is why I love Batman so much.
Yeah.
No superpowers. His superpower is determination
And richness.
and money. Okay, yes. But
Like Iron
Yeah,
Man,
okay. yes, but if he took Iron Man out of his suit and pitched him against Bruce Wayne in a fight, Bruce Wayne would floor him.
Yes.
Bruce Wayne is strong, disciplined, and knows all the martial arts. Tony Stark, on the other hand, is a drinking, lazy slob that's exceedingly intelligent,
Yeah.
with a heart problem.
Yes.
Depending which... I love Iron Man still. I think Iron Man's brilliant. But the age-old battle is Bruce Wayne could beat the hell out of Tony Stark. Batman could use an EMP and take out Iron Man,
Yeah.
therefore winning. That's it for me. Done.
That's it.
When asked that question, that's what came to mind. So, but they're essentially the same kind of character, except one's a lot more flippant.
Yes.
But no, anyway. Back. Where were we up to in the film? I've forgotten. You've got notes, I haven't. On that
Oh, well,
bit.
what I was going to say, we don't have to go necessarily chronologically. I put my teeth in.
Oh, back to the suit a little. Mm-hmm. Did you know that for some of the scenes where, for certain movements, they got a ballet dancer in to play Batman?
No, I did not. That makes a lot of sense, though.
There's a scene in the Axis Chemical Works where the cops are walking up the stairs and Batman's on a balcony, and he basically does this swish and moves around the balcony.
Yes.
It's a very iconic moment that gets shown a lot. I think it's in the trailer even. That's a ballet dancer.
I think so. Yeah. Wow.
They got a ballet dancer in to do certain movements for him.
It makes sense because they are physical performers. So
Exactly. So yeah, and to be honest with you, it shows when it's there.
Yeah.
If you're watching it with that in mind, you go, oh, no, yeah, that's him.
I don't remember a back
yeah.
pirouette, but
No, but
clear.
for certain motions, it was perfect.
yeah,
So,
that's fascinating.
right, so we've pretty much done this first page for me.
Hey,
Oh, hang on, no.
you've got pages.
Yeah. The release date was 11th of August 1989, apparently.
Yes,
However, I
yes.
saw it in April.
But if it was before your 12th birthday, that would track.
Okay, fair
It
enough.
would have been
All
April.
right.
Probably would have been April. No, because you wouldn't have been in the cinema still. From August.
Apparently, Tim Burton made $911.5 million US on it.
Is that what the film made or Tim Burton made?
That's what Tim Burton made.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I knew Nicholson got a lot because he put a clever stipulation in his contract.
But he also forced them to have one of his friends in the film as his number one goon.
Yes, Tracy Walker playing Bob.
Tracy Walker, that's the one. Yeah.
Bob.
Bob. Yeah, the one that
Okay.
says, I'm of a mind to make a Mookie.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people don't know what it says, but it's I've of a mind to make Mookie, which means
Yes.
mischief.
Yeah.
So he sees Vicky Vale and he's like, I'm going to make some mischief.
Yeah. And also, just before that scene, I never noticed until the most recent one, like when he's cutting up these pictures, there's a CIA nerve gas file I never spotted before.
Is there?
Like, that's where Smilex came from. He read that.
Nice. I've never seen that.
As well as we find out.
Yes, he does. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, little thing I was spotting as I was watching. I was like, wait a minute.
I've got it written on my notes to talk about Smilex, and you've just beaten everything I had about it. Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, I was going to talk about how clever Bruce Wayne was to figure out Smilex and how it was working and everything else with the cosmetics and stuff, which just shows his detective ability and everything else. But, to be honest with you, that's not interesting compared to the fact that it was a CIA nerve gas base.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Not often somebody finds something about Batman that I don't know, but there's one.
I was looking at it with an overcritical eye, and I just spotted CIA nerve gas files and pictures of people with, like, a rictus grin. So,
wow.
Clever.
Okay,
and it's just before, like I say, he gets the picture of Vicky Vale. It's when he's got them all cut up and everything like that. Very, very clever, again, attention to detail and set dressing.
That's what I was about to say. Again, attention to detail. Fantastic.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff... I mean, I'm still listening to some of my favourite albums and spotting things from 20 years ago. That's something in a film that no one's really noticed, I don't think, because it's never been mentioned to me. Wow, brilliant.
Well,
right, okay, so...
watching this time, yeah.
On to gadgets for the Joker, maybe, then.
On the...
I mean, he's got...
ridiculously long gun, for one, but...
Well, the ridiculously long gun that apparently can take down an aircraft.
Yeah, because caliber's related to barrel length, not...
Yeah, it is, yeah.
You know.
Unless it was an explosive bullet with, say, I don't know, something nuclear inside it.
Yeah.
I thought that was
It would have to be the
implausible.
smoothest barrel in the world for friction not to have slowed it down to basically just falling out. But
Fair point as well.
This is... I think there are moments in this where it leans into the silly. Like the moment, like when he's got Vicky in the Batcave and she's trying to look at his face and he's turning around. There are moments where it does lean into the humour.
It
and
does.
This is one of them.
Yeah, I agree there. Yeah. And he's got his acid daisy as well, hasn't he?
Orchid, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
Orchid, yes. Sorry, yes. His acid flower. Yeah, that's a classic Joker. I like that.
Yeah.
What else was there? Was there anything else?
The electro buzzer, that tormented me. Because I was, if you were like about sort of 11, 12, I was like 6 or 7. So one of the first things I saw from this film was the Topps card, I believe, with the picture of the guy fried, and I was like traumatised for a few weeks after that.
I can imagine. I remember being a little disturbed by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was the buzzer. And then there was the glove, the boxing glove that takes out the TV.
Yes.
At one point.
And the fake hand that he offers Vicky Vale as well.
Fake hand, liked that, yeah. See, now this is something I wanted to mention about this Joker, and it's something that again, unpopular opinion, that Heath Ledger got wrong for me. No, Christopher Nolan did wrong. Jack Nicholson's Joker was sadistically funny.
Yeah.
Now, he did funny things he did sadistic things in a fun... No, it was the other way around. Yeah, no, he did sadistic things in a funny way. Whereas Heath Ledger's Joker was funnily sadistic.
Yeah.
And there was a little bit of humour to the nastiness that he was doing. So, and it's very telling about people's characters, whether they love him or not, in my opinion. If someone loves Heath Ledger's Joker, then they've got a very big darkness inside them that they laugh at.
Yeah.
Whereas Jack Nicholson's Joker, he was doing dark things in a very silly way.
Yeah.
I liked that more.
I mean, I liked the portrayal of Ledger. I mean, it's why I'm wearing the White Series T-shirt for one. But
don't get me wrong.
I like his work, but I don't think that version of Joker is something to praise and sort of think he's the best Joker ever. And it's unfortunate that Leto followed that model rather than the Nicholson model in a way.
I know. Mind you, there are those that say that Nicholson was copying Cesar Romero, so...
There are elements of it there, you can clearly tell.
But there are elements of Cesar Romero in all Jokers.
Exactly.
Because he was the first on-screen Joker.
That was the first mainstream visual version that people knew,
I needed to mention that. Other things about the Joker, there was the glasses at the end, and the haunting laughter.
Yeah.
That stayed with me for a while. Yeah, stop it. Yeah, that noise was in my head for weeks after seeing this film in the cinema as a kid.
Yeah. I think it'd give anyone who didn't already have it coulrophobia.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Oh,
Yeah.
no, I didn't like that at all. Obviously, he had his goons as well. Oh, and we actually got the teeth, the chattering teeth as well. Which, again, all these things really added up to a good Joker for me.
Yeah. Because it's like, he's just been hit in the face. He doesn't need to make a joke at that point, but he thinks, this is funny, I'll just throw out the chattering teeth.
Yeah. That's it. That's my Joker.
It's the unpredictability, and this is something that Nicholson himself said he was wanting to put in there. He wanted to have as much of this unpredictability as possible. He grew up with the Batman of that era. He grew up reading about the Joker and things like that, so this is something that he's had in his childhood, and he's like, I can put my own spin on it and just be completely off the wall. There were so many ad-libs he did, like the bird dance.
Oh, yeah.
That was just off his head.
Yeah.
You know, and
this is why he was a good actor for the role. However, here's a thought. What happens if we swap Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson around? Because Keaton would make a good Joker.
Work. It would still work.
Well,
I'm a little... It would be a Beetlejuicy Joker, unfortunately.
It would, unfortunately, and that's probably why they couldn't do it. But Nicholson as Batman, I think he'd be a bit too scary. A little bit too severe.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'd work, but definitely Keaton could play Joker if he hadn't played Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
he could have definitely played Joker easily.
Because I think that's what a lot of people would probably see it, because it was the year before 1988 Beetlejuice, and they'd have just been like, that's Mr. Mom as Beetlejuice. Yeah,
that's it. But no, I think they were perfectly cast. In fact, Vicky Vale, I mean, let's face it, Kim Basinger? Basinger, sorry, Basinger, it's a girl. Right, okay. She was very well cast for me, although she wasn't very accurate to the comics.
Are you meaning because she didn't have red hair?
Yes.
That was a colouring error. She was always meant to be blonde.
Really? I didn't know that. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Right, all right, so Vicky Vale.
So she was actually more accurate than you thought.
Yeah, much more accurate than I thought. And her acting in it, aside from the fact, God, she can scream.
Yeah.
You watch that film and it's You could make a montage of that and it'd be hilarious, right? Of all the screams. Give me ideas. Yes, insert montage here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was brilliant in the role. That bit where the hand comes out of the box with the dead flowers in it and she passes out. Yeah. Wow. That was brilliant.
I love timing that. Again is on par with Keaton's and Nicholson's.
The three of them had such a chemistry and dynamic together.
Yeah.
Well done, Burton. This is it. That's the genius of Tim Burton. He knows how to cast. He knows how to create imagery.
It's really weird because there's a lot of things that would have been different. There are a few people who would have been in the roles otherwise. Like Sean Young was Vicky Vale for a while, but then she broke a collarbone, I believe, horse riding.
Yeah, she did. So
basically had to come back.
Fate.
So, yeah. Sorry?
We'll put it down to fate, shall we?
Yeah. And don't forget Robin Williams.
Well, yeah, and he was supposed to come back as the Riddler, and he got done out of that as well, didn't he?
Well, no, he fell out with Warner Brothers because of it. Because they'd already pretty much got Nicholson on board, and Robin Williams was approached and went, I'll do it, because he was kind of hesitating. So Robin Williams was like, I'll do it. Okay. He'd actually agreed everything, and then they went, no, we're going with Nicholson. And he went, well, sod you then. So when they were floating around the idea later, he went, I am not working with you until you apologise.
But they wanted him. They wanted him for the Riddler, didn't they? For Batman Forever.
Yeah, and he was like, "Not until you apologise," and they weren't big enough to do it apparently because Jim Carrey got the role.
And Jim Carrey was a lot more famous at the time than Robin Williams. Well, he was a lot more popular right at that moment.
He was. I think he was more suitable to that style of the film, shall we say?
Yes, he was, unfortunately. But apparently, the style of the film was changed because of Jim Carrey. Okay. Anyway, that's a different film entirely.
Yes, although, whilst we're on about the castings, Billy D. Williams was originally meant to come back as Two-Face in that. But Warner Brothers bought his contract out. And went with Tommy Lee Jones. Again, Warner Brothers are the ones who are screwing it up. I don't as much as anything in these.
I think Warner Brothers have always had a tendency to screw things up when it comes to films. I mean, when you look at DC's series stuff, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
The movies, not so good, comparatively. And a lot of that is to do with Warner Brothers. And to be honest with you, I'm sick of them. Let creative people be creative and do what they do best. And trust in your director. Stop faffing with the film. Why hire a director if you're going to undermine him?
Because they want their vision. They want what they bring to the table, but they want it watered down.
Yeah, I know, that's the issue. They water everything down and ruin it.
Yeah.
So, no, Warner Brothers...
Yeah. I mean, even on this, there's so much stuff that Burton would have done differently. He wouldn't have had Prince, apparently. He wasn't a big fan.
Oh, okay.
That was producer John Peters pushing.
Having said that, I think Prince was vital to the overall outcome of the film. I can't imagine anyone else having the kind of input in that positive way.
As we mentioned earlier, Party Man, great moment and all that kind of stuff. It worked. And, you know, Who Do You Trust, whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine other songs in that would have worked as well.
No, I know.
So,
yeah, well, a few people could have... They could have done it like they do with Batman Forever and had lots of different artists. And...
Yeah.
That's probably one of the redeeming features of Batman Forever. The music's good.
Oh, yeah.
Aside from Seal, Kiss from a Rose, that was filmed on the set, but not actually on the soundtrack. Not actually in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like... They do that sometimes, though. It's like they'll have films that are just loosely associated because they kind of want to bring it out and they don't know how to publicise it, I think.
Yeah, it's true. But no, they could have... I mean... Could you imagine if instead of that they had some of the popular bands that were around in '89? They could have had Def Leppard on it or Bon Jovi or something. Bon Jovi on a Batman film.
Well, they were kind of leaning towards like Michael Jackson and the like. They were still keeping it very poppy. So,
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Shame they didn't get Metallica in.
Enter Batman instead of Enter Sandman.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm going to do it. Challenge accepted. Yeah.
There we go.
So yeah, I've only got one other point on here to make, and that's the big final fight scene and stuff that's going on in the church.
Yeah.
Batman's in a bad way, but still manages to fend off all these goons and stuff.
Yeah.
And yet, in amongst all this, there's a big scene with the Joker and Vicky Vale.
Yeah.
Going on with the dance and stuff, and then she clocks Batman and decides to play up to the Joker. I can't believe that in a 12 certificate film they had the suggestion of Vicky Vale going down on the Joker. Because she's kissing him all over, and then she disappears, and his face suggests that she's actually doing something down there.
Yeah.
And
he has that moment of,
I probably didn't clock it as a kid.
Well, no.
I don't think... I think I was waiting for Batman to punch him while she was down there. You know, kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's like, why did she duck slowly?
Yes. Whereas now I look at it and I go, that's rude. Yeah.
But they know that parents are going to be bringing their kids and they're going to, like you see it in everything, there are little things that they can just get away with the censors.
Hell, in Danger Mouse there were some jokes that shouldn't have been in there.
Well, yeah.
And that was designed for kids in the 80s, and that was British. Mind you, Batman was filmed in the UK, wasn't it? I think it was all done in Bond, the 007 stage, Pinewood, I think. I think they built the scenes there and stuff. Batcave, we haven't talked about the Batcave.
No, a very
He actually had a Bat computer.
Yes.
And they really went all out on the bats thing, didn't they? There were actually bats in the Batcave, even in cages.
Yeah. Well, why not? You know,
so Alfred feeds the bats as well.
He's not got a fear of these things.
Or anything like that, no.
Yeah.
No, I liked the Batcave. I liked the aesthetic of it. I thought it was built well. I liked the fact that there was floating platforms, metal floating platforms on a cliff face kind of thing.
I'm not super fond of having like the bat suit in this giant vault. That didn't quite work for me.
It's better than it magically appearing on you as you go down a pole.
Yes, I will agree with that. But like a little actual room or something, like, you know, not like this full-on vault with a huge door with huge...
With a bridge with a chasm underneath it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
Excessive.
Although the imagery of it was amazing, and it was the first time we got the... kind of scene of putting on the... Yeah, the tooling up scene. I really like that. I thought that was brilliant. I mean, it's taken straight from army films and stuff like that, but still, it worked in this context, and it created this. It's Batman!
It's like escalation mode, basically. It's like, okay, things are getting serious.
Yeah. It didn't need to be in the vault because the Bat Cave is supposed to be secure anyway. Although I was a little disappointed that we didn't see how he got into the Bat Cave.
Yeah,
other
we
than
didn't
to
have like
drive
a dodgy bookshelf or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, isn't there a piano thing in Batman Returns?
You might be right.
Yeah, I think there is.
Feels about right to me.
But in Batman itself, there was no... This is how we get into the Batcave.
Yeah. Like, we know that obviously there's got to be some route in through the house, because I don't imagine Alfred's, like, going round and just driving in.
No, yeah. That's a thought.
Oh no, I've got to take Master his dinner. Get in the Bentley. Bentley with his jet on the back just to go through the waterfall, you know.
Yeah, I thought there was no waterfall in that. That's
no, not in this one. Sorry, I'm mixing my. I'm
that's
mixing my
Batman
caves.
Begins. That's the one with the film with the microwave emitter that evaporates water but doesn't hurt anybody. Who are made of mostly water.
Yeah, because you know, if
That
you put
one.
a human in a microwave, it doesn't go badly.
No, not at all. Yeah, that ruined that film for me.
Yeah.
But everything else was kind of okay in that one. That was the best of the three.
Yeah.
Even though most people say The Dark Knight was the best. Sorry, I disagree. So,
I think The Dark Knight was better for pacing. I felt Batman Begins had a lot of issues getting going.
I think this was the definitive Batman film for me. I don't think I'm going to see anything as good as this ever again. Even Robert Pattinson's Batman, I don't think it can beat this because the imagery is not going to be as good, in my opinion. They filmed scenes in daylight.
Yeah.
With Batman in it. Doesn't work.
I am the night. Oh, quick. I'm outdoors in the daylight.
I'm on a motorbike in a cemetery in daylight. Oh, well.
Unless they're doing like day for night and they're going to have it awfully colour timed.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It could have been a lighting test as much as anything. So see what it looks like in the daylight and then know how you've got to light it to make it reflect better and show up better.
Yeah,
it was just a screen test. That wasn't footage being filmed. So.
Oh, okay, right, good. Okay, well, I will hold my breath.
And the actual reveal of the suit is in like that dark sort of red lighting. So
I saw that. The suit looked quite good. I didn't like the helmet very much. The cowl.
I like how they've done the guns on the logo, like melted into it. It's like as a weird. It's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
It's like a harkening back. This is what caused this to happen.
We'll see.
Yeah. And also, it's reflective of bullets. So.
Yeah, that's good. No, I don't think anyone's going to beat it. I mean, Batman and Batman Returns, sorry. Mm-hmm. Love both those films. Batman Begins is Return. Why do I keep saying that? Batman Returns. Yeah, Batman Returns is a Christmas movie for me.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Whereas Batman's an anytime movie, but definitely Begins is Returns. Sorry, I'm doing it again. Definitely Batman Returns is a Christmas movie for me. I always try to watch it around Christmas.
Just say Batman 2 if you're getting stuck.
Yeah, maybe.
Batman 2. This time it's personal.
So, is there anything that we haven't covered?
I don't think so. I think we're pretty good. Although, going back to the titles, there is one thing that I did put on my notes, which was this was yet another example of Bill Finger getting, fingered. The credit only goes to Bob Kane once more.
Oh, yeah, okay. Fair enough. Yeah,
that wasn't righted until quite recently.
Yeah, all right, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but that's about the only thing. Apart from like one of my weird putting different things together, the fact that Harvey Dent is being played by an African American.
Yeah.
So we've got a dark person being the White Knight for Gotham.
Oh yeah, fair point.
And I don't know if that's intentional, but I like it if it is.
Probably not. He probably just. But it's the first time they did that in a superhero movie. Yeah. They swapped the white character for a black man.
Yeah.
And now that it's rife in there, let's face it.
Yeah. There is one more thing that I wanted to ask you about.
Oh, go on then.
Jerry Hall's character, Alicia. Proto Harley?
Nah.
No? You're not convinced by
not
that?
Not at all. No, not at all. No, she the film could have continued without her.
Which it did. They killed her off like what?
Well, I know, but
But I know what you mean. She didn't need to be in.
She didn't need to exist, but I guess it just showed the Joker was a bit sadistic, and that he was messing with her face and stuff, and it was obvious. And it's another reason for contention between Napier and Grissom, yeah. Because Grissom knows.
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons he has.
That's what causes.
That's what causes him to become the Joker.
Where Harvey Bullock, I mean Lieutenant Eckhart. Clearly, it's Harvey Bullock.
Yeah, we know.
But yeah, where he gets him to basically help take him out.
Yeah,
but definitely more of an inspiration probably for Echo in the Gotham TV series.
Yeah.
I'd say probably a bit more of that because there's the mask element.
There is.
But yeah,
I mean, there is the thought that there maybe should have been another villain in there. Some people have suggested it, but I've never said that myself. I think it was, you've got your greatest villain there, the Joker. He is Batman's arch nemesis, and it just held the film very well. I like the fact that they did Catwoman and the Penguin in the second, because I've always thought they were bit parts comparatively, whereas the Joker is the main villain. Always has been, always will be.
Yeah, I think it would have watered it down. It would have been kind of lesser without that, without that focus on basically his greatest nemesis.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, fair enough. They did two in the second one, and if Tim Burton had done his Batman Continues, don't like the title, but if he'd done it, it was going to be the Riddler and Two-Face. And he was aiming to have Robin Williams as the Riddler and Billy D. Williams as Two-Face, which would have been very interesting. I'd love to have seen that. Yeah. Instead, we got And Keaton wouldn't do it because Tim Burton wasn't doing it, and so I mean, Val Kilmer wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. He was. Yeah, and in this case, it's praise to say that. Clooney, the worst Batman that's ever existed. I mean, no, he could. I mean, hey, freeze! I'm Batman. I don't know whether that's directing or Clooney himself that couldn't do anything better than that. But Batman didn't have a voice.
Might be 50-50.
Yeah, it might be. Batman had no voice in that. He was Bruce Wayne.
It could be ego.
Maybe.
Clooney's like, no, this is my voice. I'm recognisable by my voice.
Yeah, possibly.
I don't know. I'd have to look into it, probably.
Less said, the better. I mean, unless we're going to pick it apart for about half an hour, I don't think it's a good thing to do.
No, let's not do that right now.
Yeah, let's not do that. So, I think since, considering that the previous Batman was Adam West and the campy TV show from the 60s, this was a bit of a turnaround, wasn't it? And it made Batman more mainstream again. It brought superhero movies back because they'd all died out with Superman. The quest for peace had kind of killed off superhero movies. Spider-Man came from after this, not too far after this, which was Sam Raimi. A very good series as well, apart from the third one. But we all say that, don't we? And then, since then, Marvel Universe has taken off. The DC Universe has stumbled along a bit. Yeah. Mainly bolstered up by Wonder Woman, which is a very good film. I can't wait for the 1980s one.
Basically, when they're not doing grimdark.
Yeah. They don't do grimdark well.
No. That's why Shazam worked, Aquaman kind of worked.
Aquaman was a good film. All in all, I think a very definitive moment in comic book and movie history.
Definitely.
The 1989 Batman film by Tim Burton starring Michael Keaton was one of those films that I will never forget and I will watch time and time again. A bit like Aliens.
Yeah. Which is why, when we talked about doing something as a collaborative effort, that's why that was suggested. Because it's just something that, you absolutely love. I'd say I love less than you, because I don't think anyone can match you.
No, there are definitely people who love it more than me out there, but still.
Well, people I know directly, let's put it that way.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But yeah, it's always a pleasure to sort of, delve into films with a different take, so always appreciated. And just glad that, you've given me some things that I never thought about, and I've given you a few things that you never even noticed, so next time you watch it, you can look out for the CIA files, etc.
I will indeed. Oh, and by the way, folks, Paul has been making some music as well. If you'd like to check out Paul's other channel on YouTube, you can have a listen to some of the music, and there's some beautiful self-compositions and some lovely covers on there.
Well, thank you very much. There will be little circular things that you can click on at the end of the video, as usual. But I think that's it for now, unless you want to do some crazy self-promotion.
Check out Herd Immunity, spelled Heard, on Facebook, and you'll find collaborative projects that I've been working on. Currently got second project underway with potentially 80 odd performers on it, which is going to drive me completely insane, but still fun. And yeah, that's it really.
Yeah, and of course on YouTube is the Olive Studios channel as well, which I'll put a link somewhere around, and you can look at some of the other stuff that we've done together and some of the weird stuff you've done on your own. But yeah, that was a good little run through 1989 Batman.
Parents, you killed my parents. Yeah.
If you don't know what he's on about, I'll find out, and there'll be a link to that somewhere as well. Well, thank you very much for joining me on this. And,
no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, next time I don't know what I'm going to do, but until then, as always, thank you for watching and take care.